Hi there, my name is Alicia McCallum. I am the Director of Global Communications for Finning International, and it's my pleasure to be presenting our case study as part of today's Tech Thursdays. I'm going to be talking a little bit about our intranet portal and give you some behind the scenes info and some insights into the experience that we had going through not only the procurement, but then also moving towards the planning and then the activation of our intranet itself. So let's talk a little bit about Finning, who we are. A lot of folks may not know who we are, but certainly you might know who Caterpillar is. And we are the world's largest Caterpillar dealer. We serve a variety of different sectors, whether that's mining or construction or forestry, petroleum and power systems. And we operate in 6 different countries. So the western part of Canada, including the provinces of BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. We're also in South America, in Bolivia, Argentina, and Chile. And then across the pond, so they say, in Ireland and the United Kingdom. Got about just over 100 or so facilities and branches that serve our customers, and we also operate on customer sites. And then we also have just about 13,000 employees, and that changes on any given day, but that's our fairly constant number in terms of those employees. So that's a little bit about Caterpillar. We're the largest sales and service dealer of Caterpillar equipment. Just to be 100% clear, we are not Caterpillar, but we are a dealer for those types of pieces of equipment. So sales and service of those machines, as well as other machines as well. Caterpillar is our primary partner. So we're here today to talk about global intranet. And one of the reasons why that's important is because we are a global company, obviously operating in 6 different countries. And previous to this, we had a very interesting experience with our intranet where we had 6 different intranets, each of them serving a number of our regions. None of them talked to each other, and it was a bit of a fragmented employee experience. So we decided we needed to look at a global option, which unified everybody. So the reasons why we chose to do a global intranet were first to have the openness and transparency, because it was really important for us to be able to share success stories, have questions, access resources in a truly integrated global manner. The second was really important for us, the collaboration and connection, and that was something that wasn't happening with our fragmented approach to internet previously. Third was the effective governance of that model. That was that single source of truth and information. Previously, we had a number of different SharePoint sites that were very, very outdated. No good search function, no archive, no ability to control content management. So the employee experience was very fractured and very challenging to be able to get information at any given time and know that it was actually the information that employees needed and that nothing needed to be updated and or archived in a way that wasn't a part of our purview as the communications group. Fourth item was a socialized environment, having that two-way feedback, things like comments, liking posts, sharing rich content like photos and video, which is something that our employees were obviously doing in the social spaces, and they wanted to be able to do that, to have that collaboration and integration and experience be more personal in between employees and or regions. And then a really important element is our remote staff access. We have nearly 75% of our workforce out in the field or on the road, whether it's our technicians that are fixing machines or even our salespeople that are on the move securing new business for us. Having that remote and mobile access via either a mobile device or a tablet was very, very important to us and a key factor as to why we needed a global intranet platform that was going to look at all of these elements. So we actually looked at approximately 12 different vendors out there, and we ended up going with the BZ platform. And this is our homepage that you can see right now. And we actually called it Traction. Makes sense. It's a play on the machines that we sell and service, and then also shows some momentum and progress towards the innovative platform that we're using and where we want to go as a company in terms of innovation. So gaining traction was the concept we came with, and it ended up being called Traction as a platform, which we thought was a great fit. So benefits of the BZ platform for us obviously were the options of the global and regional news. So publishing news and announcements from across the business can be shared between communities and regions. And then a great element of the platform that we really loved was the community. So obviously we had hundreds of SharePoint sites and pages that were completely outdated, hard to navigate, and at times inaccessible. So this enabled us to put all that SharePoint content into rich sharing environments, including things like resources and library as great tools to put things where we didn't have a community home for them, and enable that to be able to be accessed more simply and easily. And then obviously that highly collaborative and social environment, which enabled our colleagues to connect and share experiences and have that really global feel to the company. And then also execute some best practices, to be honest, was something that we were quite behind in, and we were really thrilled to be able to use the platform meaningfully to bring our employees into the 21st century, as it were. So the feedback we got was, okay, if you're going to do an intranet, we want it to be a one-stop shop. We want it to be able to provide all of the elements on all our employee resources. And so we essentially populated everything into the Traction portal, everything from our HR forms and benefits and pension and health and well-being documents to safety and some of those important safety forms that our employees need, like the hazard assessments, the reports and incident reports. Really great information on where we are in our sustainability and environmental progress journey. And then also news, local and global, and we offered our employees an opportunity to see both. So mandatory subscription to global news, but then option to also see what's going on in the other regions. And then an overview of our corporate goals, our strategy, and our values so that the employees would feel really connected to the why we were doing what we were doing as a company. And then obviously those nuts and bolts, legal and regulatory pieces, compliance and policies and all those important things that make sure that we stay on top of the things that we are required to do. Very important to have employees be able to know where to find those and access them at any given time in case they have questions or concerns. And then we really love the platform's ability to connect to ServiceNow, Workday, and other platforms that we used in the business. That integration was really integral to be able to have that connection and have Traction as the launching point to access those other portals, but to know that there was a seamless integration in between the two, things like populating and pulling employee information and profile photos from Workday so that when someone posts on Traction, they appear as themselves and all the relevant information to email them or contact them is included when you click on their little icon as a person. Great feedback we've been getting over the last year. We launched our platform approximately March-ish of 2020, just in time for a pandemic. So I can't tell you how important it is to have this as a tool for us. It's really, really critical for us to be in a situation where we had the resources available to us. Really awesome opportunity to reach out and connect with employees where we didn't have the opportunity to previously. But then we also had some value add elements. So we added in some other parts to Traction that we hadn't expected to add, which was things like a gratitude and giving site where employees could share the experiences they were having from an external sort of social perspective. We also have an Allies for Inclusion community, which is a page where people can go and talk about best practices and inclusion and diversity in the company, some of the things they're reading and experiencing in the company, some of the challenges and opportunities they're facing. Obviously, sharing best practices is a huge win for us to be able to do that across the organization. And then we've got a great tool that we use in all of the regions in which we operate, which is called Ask Finning. Ask Finning is a community where we invite employees to ask us the difficult questions, and we have our executive be able to answer them meaningfully in real time as the executive themselves. Instead of having a corporate communications response, we actually have the employees interact directly with our executives by having the post and question asked, and then the executive responding, and then allowing for the likes and interaction by employees directly with that executive. And we found it's really increased our employee engagement, which is a really helpful tool. So I don't want to spend too much more time talking about the platform itself because I know everyone's going to have questions, but this is how you reach me. Again, I'm Alicia McCallum. Twitter is @Alicia McCallum, and my LinkedIn contact is there. Happy to connect with any of you at any given time if you've got questions, but I know we're going to quickly jump into a question and answer session here. So happy to take any questions that you might have at this time.
Well, we're so glad to be here. Hi, I'm Adrian Spire, Head of Community at Vanilla Higher Logic, and I'm here today with a customer of ours, Adam Bowe from Xometry, and we can't wait to talk about how they use Vanilla to be successful with their business. So, hey, Adam, thanks for being here. Please take it away.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm so excited to be here today. Very, very pleased to be speaking at Tech Thursdays. So let me bring up my slides here. and we will get right into it. So first, introduction, my name's Adam Bowe. I'm the head of community and engagement. I work at a company called Xometry, like Adrian just said, and I've worked in manufacturing my entire career. I've been in sales, marketing, and now community for the last year and a half. And I'll have to say the community aspect has been my favorite so far. I recently discovered it, and I've developed a great passion for it. A little bit about me. I'm an avid Song of Ice and Fire reader, Game of Thrones for anyone that watches the show. I have not seen the show. I actually deleted all my social media accounts while I was active because I don't want it to spoil the book. So no comments in the comments about Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones. Don't spoil it, but happy to answer questions in the comments. Adrian and I will both be in there. So looking forward to speaking with you guys. So a little overview about Xometry. We are an on-demand manufacturing platform. So we're a technology company in manufacturing. And while manufacturing has a lot of technology in it, obviously to make the things, it's an older industry. So community in manufacturing is an interesting space. But what we focus on is we connect buyers and sellers in the manufacturing industry and focus on helping specifically the sellers grow their business, develop their abilities. We offer financial options, and for the customers, we release supply chain issues. And where community fits into that. So our challenge when the pandemic started, when the COVID-19 pandemic started, Xometry was classed as an essential business. However, many of our sellers were not. So we needed a space to be able to communicate with them to extend essential business classification so that they could continue making the things for our customers and for their customers as the pandemic started. If you kind of roll your head back to when that time happened, there was so much unknown. We didn't know, what businesses were going to have to shut down and for how long. And cash flow is such a pain point for small American manufacturers. They typically only have around 21 days of cash flow on hand. So 3 weeks of no business means no business. So this essential business classification was super important to them. We also wanted to implement some financial solutions, and we put them in beta testing. And we thought a community would be a great place to do that, both product and support. One of the reason that we kind of reached out to Vanilla was one of our goals was we had to launch this super quickly. We're talking like 10 days from signing the contract to launching our community platform. Vanilla was one of the only platforms that allowed us to move that agilely, but also lay out a roadmap for us that would say that we would be able to actually develop this community into a product and a platform that we'd be proud of. Our other goals, we wanted to help our suppliers respond to the dynamic and shifting landscape of the pandemic. We wanted to reduce the cost to serve our suppliers. So one of the things that is so key in a digital manufacturing marketplace is that you're going to continue acquiring users, right? You also don't want to scale your operations to the point to match those users, because then it becomes very difficult as a technology company to turn a profit. So one of our main goals through community was ticket deflection through self-service. So we wanted empowering educational knowledge. We wanted to promote engagement with the platform, and really that's to reduce churn and to increase adoption rate with our products. And we wanted to beta test new financial products. So before the pandemic, Xometry would give you work. If you're a supplier, we gave you access to revenue streams, but all we did was pay you for that work. We had no other financial products. And I'll show you in a bit from our beta testing in our community, the different products that came from that. So I want to show you guys kind of what our community looks like and how, it reaches our goals. So you see in the resources tab, we've got the help center guides and articles. Those have successfully deflected tickets to the point where we've continued to acquire customers, but our ticket deflection rate has gone down. You see in the discussion threads here, we've got Friday music selection or suggestions, But we've also got like exciting quality changes at Xometry. So it's a mix of fun and engaging content and very pertinent content to our users for how they operate on the platform. In the bottom right, we also have an automated drift chat. It's a chat bot that we use, and it connects users. It serves automated flows to guide them to the help center articles that they need. Again, coming back to the ticket deflection and our goal of reducing the cost to serve our users while also empowering them to be able to take on more work, use more products from Xometry. So our solution led to this beautiful chart here. If you see the red line coming down, that's our tickets per user per month over time. As you can see, before we launched the community, in April of 20. So like very close to right after the pandemic kind of reached its fever peak. And you see our ticketing go down and down and down, while the blue line is our active suppliers. So before the community, we were above 2 tickets per supplier, per month. And after the community, we're now trending below 1 ticket per supplier, while also having more suppliers on our marketplace. So fantastic solution. And we've achieved that, like I said, through help center articles, the intuitive design of Vanilla's platform, the automated chatbot, which actually ties back into our help center articles. So you can ask it questions and then it'll serve the articles needed, and strategic placement in the user journey. In the onboarding flow, we make sure to introduce the community extremely early so that our users can get used to this. And the other really exciting option here, prior to launching the community, we had 0 financial solutions for our suppliers. Since then, we've launched the Xometry Advance Card, Fast Pay, Deduct from Job, Xometry Flex, all of which probably don't mean a ton to you, but what you can see is that there's 4 different robust financial solutions that have come from beta testing in our community. So when we launched our community, we said we want to have 2 things. We want to have reduce the cost to serve, and we also want to have this product community where we're getting feedback from our suppliers so that we can launch the things they need to support them from a financial solution. We've done both, and we've done both through Vanilla and the intuitive design and the agile quickness that Vanilla was able to provide us as a platform, not only getting it out of the box quickly, but also growing with us over the last year and a half. I want to thank you guys for the time today and would love to connect. I so appreciate being able to connect with other community members, leaders, architects, etc. My personal LinkedIn's here. You can also email me, and then the company LinkedIn for Xometry if you're interested in more of what Xometry does. Again, we'll be in the chat, so feel free to drop your questions there. And Adrian and the Community Roundtable, thank you so much for giving me the time.